The Moonlight Key and the Girl Who Could Hear the Stars. Soft wind moved through the sleeping village. Tiny lanterns glowed beside windows, and somewhere far away, a lonely little girl named Elara stared at the night sky from her attic window. Every night she whispered the same thing.
I wish the stars could hear me.
She did not know that tonight they finally would. Elara lived with her grandmother in a small cottage beside a silver forest. One rainy evening, while cleaning the attic, she discovered a dusty wooden box hidden beneath old blankets. The box was carved with moons and tiny stars. When she opened it, a soft lullaby filled the room. Inside rested a glowing silver key. The moment Elara touched it, the music stopped, and the stars outside flickered. That night, Elara couldn't sleep. Moonlight poured through her window. Then suddenly, she heard a whisper. "Follow the moon!" Her curtains began floating gently. Outside, thousands of glowing fireflies gathered above the forest path. Elara held the silver key tightly and stepped outside barefoot. The forest had changed. Trees shimmered like glass. Flowers glowed blue beneath the moonlight, and far ahead stood a giant glowing door hidden between ancient trees. The silver key floated from Elara's hands. Click! The glowing door slowly opened. Inside was a magical garden floating beneath the stars. Rivers sparkled like liquid diamonds. White birds flew silently through the sky, and stars drifted like snowflakes. At the centre stood a boy wearing a cloak made of starlight. His name was Orin.
You can hear the stars too.
Hear them?
Orin looked upward, and suddenly the stars began whispering. Tiny voices, soft and gentle, like forgotten dreams. Orin explained the truth. Long ago the stars protected human dreams while they slept. But now a shadow creature called the Hollow King was stealing dreams from children. That is why the world felt colder. Sadness was spreading. People stopped believing in magic. And soon, even the stars would fade forever.
How do we stop him?
Orin pointed toward the dark mountains far away.
We return the moonlight heart before sunrise.
Together they crossed a glowing bridge floating above the clouds. Below them were sleeping villages covered in mist. They passed giant floating whales made of stars. Tiny moon rabbits hopped beside them, and lantern birds lit the path ahead. But as they walked, the sky slowly darkened. The stars began disappearing one by one. At the top of the dark mountain stood a black castle covered in thorns. Inside sat the Hollow King. His eyes were empty. His voice sounded cold and broken.
Dreams only bring pain.
Around him floated stolen dreams, trapped inside glass spheres. Children laughing, families hugging, tiny hopeful wishes. The Hollow King had once been human too, a lonely boy forgotten by the world. Over time, his sadness became darkness. Orin tried to fight the darkness with starlight, but the shadows grew stronger. The moonlight heart began cracking. Everything started fading. Then Elara remembered her grandmother's words.
Even the smallest light can warm a lonely heart.
Slowly, Elara walked toward the Hollow King. Not with fear, but kindness. She held out the silver key.
You don't have to be alone anymore.
For the first time in centuries, the Hollow King cried. One single tear fell onto the moonlight heart. And suddenly, boom! Golden light exploded across the sky. The castle disappeared. The dark clouds vanished. Dreams floated back into the sky like glowing butterflies. Across the kingdom, sleeping children smiled once more. The stars burned brighter than ever before, and the Hollow King became a small, lonely boy again. Orin gently took his hand. The darkness was finally gone. Before sunrise, Elara returned home. The magical garden slowly faded.
Whenever you feel alone, look at the stars.
Then he disappeared into the morning sky, back inside her attic room. Elara placed the silver key beside her bed. That night, for the very first time, she fell asleep, smiling, and high above the clouds. The stars whispered gently, "Good night, Elara. Remember, somewhere above the clouds the stars are protecting your dreams tonight."